Education. How many parents from Trackety Cross and staff have said, show us. Show us how the education is going to be better taking my child from Trackety Cross and putting them in a larger class. Transportation is an issue. How long will my child be on the bus? Do we know? Have we answered it?
The courts have indicated that trustees are required to have an open mind and give the whole community a fair and equal opportunity to participate in the decision-making process. In my opinion, we did not do that. Trustees should have been able to ask any question, go on any tour, bring their own research to the table, and trustees should have been able to answer any of the public's questions if they could.
This community where they support each other and support their students have been made to fear their trustees and have been made to feel perhaps their district office that administers them. They are the client. They are the ones that are paying us to do what we do. And they should not have to fear us or fear that they are going to be trampled by us. And I really want our fellow trustees to give this school a chance to feel some faith in us again and some trust in us again. So I will not be asking this school to close.
But I really feel in my heart of hearts again, and with my intellect tied to it, that we will get,
please folks,
we will get trust and faith when we show that we are committed to providing the best education for the real client, and the real client is the student. I cannot say that I'm a servant of the parents, but I am certainly and surely the servant of the students. And my conscience won't let me do anything but vote for this closure.
Our mission statement directs us to work in partnership with our communities. That's what I hope for the future for our district.
When I look at Mount Stewart and the school that proposed for these children to go into, what a beautiful school, what a great opportunity they have, and that's the reason I'm going to be supporting the motion. Thank you.
There's law, and then there's ethics. What might be legal sometime is not ethical. I cannot support this.
And again, I'm going to say, let's do this again. Minister Green, and give us more time. 3.5 months. Babies are made in 9 months. How can we make a master plan in 3.5?
We will contend we will continue to have split classes in the Eastern School District, whether we close schools or not. Thank you.
This particular school would have been a fine example of needing a transition plan if anything was to be put in place. I reiterate the need for more consultation. I will not support this motion.
I don't believe that the school organization process has yet identified that the strength of the education in our small schools has been so weakened that they need to be closed.
I was concerned about the idea of this being a rushed timeline. Well, in the sense that Mount Stewart School was built for St. Teresa's and Trackety Cross decades ago. The need was seen when consolidation happened. Now some people are trying to keep those consolidated schools in use.
I happen to be looking at some busing times, and St. Teresa's is going to be pretty brutal to suggest that you as an educator can teach the child in isolation from the parent is extremely arrogant.
But I was really very concerned about the narrow stairways and corridors. I really was. And with the opportunity that these students have to go into a beautiful school like Mount Stewart, I really think the other trustees are wrong in not expressing how much better this is going to be for those students. And I think they're missing the point on this particular school. Thank you.
We can focus on student learning. We can build strong professional learning communities in all island communities, regardless of location and size.
Closing St. Peter's School, in my opinion, from what I have heard, is going to have a huge impact.
But the maximum benefits and the benefits that these youngsters need, they're not getting to the fullest, and there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt. And if there's any consolation for parents who don't want to see St. Peter's close, if indeed it is, then down the road, hopefully they will come to realize that there have been sufficient, adequate, increased benefits that their children will take advantage of and be better for.
We haven't seen that the education has been weakened to the point that we need to close this school. We do need to zone. We need to look at the kindergarten and the transportation.
I believe that there is the will there to look at closures or reconfiguring the schools in that area. I do not believe the time is right to do it now. To transition the students from Eastern Kings, Fortune Bay, and Rollo Bay schools into Surrey Consolidated is madness. I visited Surrey Consolidated School. It's a school that can barely accommodate the students that are there now. One administrator shared her comment that the children will be squashed in there like sardines. Leave the students in Eastern Kings, leave them in Fortune, leave them in Rollo Bay, or come up with some other creative solution to make it work for those communities for the next 2 or 3 years. They may have figured it all out from a staffing perspective, but I don't think they have thought it through from a student perspective.
I can say that over the last 5 months and more, along with listening to you folks, public input, we have been in touch with our operations people at the board office, our professional educators. This is what they do for a living. This is their pride. They do have vision. Input that we receive from them has in every case indicated that the moves, the closures would indeed work. Yes, there may be a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but that's their task, and it always has been to make corrections when needed.
3.5 months for that master plan, in my opinion, is just not long enough. Moving them prematurely and then having a facility is probably not in the best interest of those children. Stop. Let's look at the reconfiguring, let's look at the zoning, let's look at the transportation, the community impact, and then let's move forward. We don't need to do it in 3.5 months. Thank you.
Please don't go anywhere. Stay engaged in education.